All right, I'm going to pull in Pedro, Pedro Evo. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Well, uh, wait,
I can't hear you if you're talking.
I was having echo. Sorry,
Gotcha. Sorry.
with that. So I am from Brazil. I am Quincas in your chat.
Okay.
One of the persons that are inappropriated sexual about yourself.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Uh, I am from Brazil, and I want to talk about how uh, public healthcare works in here
hmm
as a warning for you if you are able to make your public health care to work in US.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Uh, Brazil has a very robust public health system. We are vaccination program for children before COVID. For children was one of the biggest in the world.
hmm
We our HIV program was uh, viewed as an example to be followed, but we still have a bunch of problems because we kept private insurance companies.
Mm,
The idea is private insurance would allow you to not take too much time to have any treatment you want, and private insurance was directed to not necessarily procedures.
okay.
So aesthetical surgeries and so on.
Yeah.
Uh, the result of that is pretty much the relationship Amazon has with your postal service.
Okay.
That Amazon keeps using your postal service, paying them for making deliveries where Amazon don't want to go. So the same would happen in Brazil. So private insurance company, private hospitals would take services from the public health system to supply their clients.
hmm
And they usually or they pay lower than they would pay themselves, or they pay or they don't pay,
Right.
or the public services they rented.
Yeah. The capitalist tendency to subsidize your losses with public taxpayer money.
Yeah. So even if you are able to make your public health uh, care, you should take care with the private insurance companies. They will still want to make that thing work for them.
hmm Yeah, I mean, ideally I would like to get rid of all private health insurance, but will I that probably won't be possible in the near future anyway. Um, that is a good thing to keep an eye out for, though.
On the bright side, our medications very cheaper than cheaper than US. Our diabetes medication, insulin is about $10 to $20.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not.
That is my both my parents have diabetes, and their insulin. I shit you not. It's like each dose is around $1,000. It's crazy.
Uh, $20 would be a somewhat medium to high end price for insulin in Brazil.
Yeah, that blows me away. Like
Uh,
without insurance, if you need insulin in the United States, you are basically out of luck.
uh, I, when I lived with my mother, she did not, during her whole life, she never get more than 2 to 3 minimum wage. What's the name for salary? Paydays
Mm.
for month.
Yeah.
She never got more than that, and she in 2006 she got cancer.
Hmm.
She needed treatment for 4 years. She got about 3 surgeries, radiotherapy and chemotherapy, multiple sessions, and it cost us nothing.
That's incredible.
The only thing that cost us was paying for going to the doctors and paying for medication at home for dealing with the consequences.
Hmm.
Even so, much less than the same medications would cost in US.
Yeah,
Uh,
like earlier today we had on a woman who was diagnosed with cancer and went through all the treatments, and she got a $100,000 medical bill.
yeah.
That's
And, and again, this is in a country that is not even close to socialism.
hmm
We did implement our public health system in the 90s with a liberal government
hmm
uh, that would be proportional to Bill Clinton.
right.
Uh, and even with private insurance companies, even with private hospitals, that is the worst situation I could get in Brazil.
That's that's wild.
Don't
I
take me wrong, Brazil has problems with health system, especially with on having more concentrated resources in the big capitals and
hmm
not in the rural areas. We have that problem. That's a huge problem in Brazil. So I live all my life in Rio de Janeiro.
hmm
Is one of the capitals. Uh, I don't know if I would have if my mother would have the same access to healthcare she had if she we would live in a rural.
right.
But even so, it, it, it's not socialism wanting a public healthcare system, and it's just better. And even it even works as a type of regulation over the private hospitals and private insurance companies, because then those services cannot give you a service worse than the public healthcare.
Right. Exactly. Um
Eh,
sorry.
Now go on.
I was just gonna say yeah, the Brazilian system definitely has problems in the same way that like the Canadian system has problems, but like in the United States you would be in medical debt for the rest of your life if you got cancer, you know, like the amount of um, ways that our current healthcare system destroys you in America is I'm still trying to wrap my head around like $20 insulin. To
Yeah,
be honest, yeah.
I have allergies. I just bought histamine for my allergies.
hmm
$2
Wow.
each pack.
I I personally I have insurance, and even with insurance that has met like my premium cap or my whatever it's called, the monthly premiums, and then um the payment cap for how our insurance works. It's all stupid and screwy. But even meeting that cap, where your insurance is really supposed to kick in, um, I still pay around $75 to $100 for my medication, and I have fairly common medications too. Deductible. Thank you, NB Gamer Jupiter.
Uh, and that's because I don't have a private insurance. And see, if I have one, I would be able to buy them with a discount.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that's not public health. Public health care. It's not
Hmm.
a socialist dream.
No,
I am
yeah.
in favor of socialist dreams. Don't take me wrong, but it's not. It's just basic necessity.
Yeah, no, like it just makes economic sense to do it this way. It's cheaper and it benefits so many people and has so many knock-on effects that are beneficial that it makes sense from even a capitalist perspective to have Medicare for all. It's not the socialist pipe dream that a lot of people like to set it up as.
Uh, my government had to fuck up all my public health system again and again in the last 2.5 years, so we could have the numbers of COVID we have right now. There is no reason why we should have those. Right now, we are in the end steps of producing our own two different vaccines for COVID, totally in Brazil.
Hmm.
And the only reason we are did not make those vaccines earlier is because my government fucked up the situation. It's fucking ridiculous. My government, to the point, Pfizer, the vaccines for Pfizer wanted Brazil to be their poster boy for vaccinations.
Hmm.
We have documentation right now that Pfizer is sending mails to Brazil government asking when you guys will accept our vaccines, we will give you discounts, we will it will cost you half of the price, and so on. More than 80 emails were sent and
Hmm.
not answered.
That's
Yeah, and Pfizer want that not because Pfizer is it's a good group. It's because they knew that in Brazil they would able to vaccinate a huge amount of population in the shortest time possible because we have a public health system. They
yeah.
knew if they could give us the vaccines, they could use us as a marketing tool for selling to other countries.
What 100%. Yeah. They want money. Like it is all about that bottom line, which is why it makes so little sense to me to use private companies for these healthcare ends and to like privatize healthcare systems. It it only hurts people for a profit. I don't think the profit's worth it.
I would say again, like I said in your chat, I would say it's not for profit, it's for accumulation. They are not generating more uh, capital,
Hmm.
more money. They are taking money from the part of society that has less. That's not profit. That's just exploitation.
I honestly I'd say profit comes from exploitation.
I could agree with you if they were producing something beyond the exploitation, but they are losing even the money they exploit.
That's fair. That's fair. I'll agree with that.
Again, the case for Pfizer.
Hmm.
Uh, Pfizer wanted to exploit Brazil to have more profit. They could not have that profit because someone want just to explore Brazil. And when I say someone, it's just to not derail your conversation because we already have proofs of that.
True.
So it's a whole mess. A
It
bunch of people want to steal money at the same time. It's fucking dumb.
Well, thank you for coming on and giving us an outside perspective on U.S. healthcare. It really is helpful, and also for educating us on Brazilian healthcare.
Good to help. And your stream is amazing.
Aw, thank you. I wasn't looking for that, but I'll take it.
You should.
Have a good night, or yeah, have a good night.
It's night here.
Yeah.
I'm just 2 to 3 hours in front of you guys.
Okay. All right. Get good sleep whenever you go to bed. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.